Larry, thanks for coming on.
Brittany, thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
Of course, you jumped into a jam-packed presidential race filled with current and past governors, senators, even a former president and vice president. So my first question is to you. Why are you the person for the job?
Well, first of all, it wasn't as jam-packed when I got into it, but since I got into it, a lot more people have got into it. Look, I'm running because I feel that I've got some things to say that I believe our party is not talking enough about, if at all. Most notably, there is an epidemic of fatherlessness in our country. And I consider that to be, Brittany, the most pressing domestic problem in the country. We have lots of issues, whether it's taxes, whether it's too much regulations, whether it's porous borders, whether it's gasoline prices. There are lots of things to talk about. But the number one social problem, in my opinion, the 10,000-pound elephant in the room, is the large number of kids who enter the world today in America without a father in the home. 40% of all American kids do. That's up threefold from the mid-'60s when Democrat Lyndon Johnson launched a so-called war on poverty. At that time, 25% of black kids entered the world without a father in the home married to the mother. Fast forward, that is now 70%. 50% in the Hispanic community, 25% in the white community. And the stats are clear. If you're raised without a dad, you're 5 times more likely to be poor and commit crime, 9 times more likely to drop out of school, and 20 times more likely to end up in jail. I've got some ideas about what we can do about that. The other reason I'm running is because somebody needs to thoroughly denounce this Democrat gambit of saying that the country is systemically racist. It drives the debate on critical race theory. It drives the debate on reparations. It drives the debate on diversity, equity, and inclusion. It is not only untrue, it is not only pitting Americans against Americans, it is a murderous lie. It's called the George Floyd effect. This is, Brittany, the phenomenon of cops pulling back for fear of being called systemically racist. And as a result, crime has gone up all over the country. There are literally thousands of people who've been victimized by violent crime who otherwise would not have been victimized had the police been doing their normal proactive policing. And the people that are primarily victimized by this excess crime are very black and brown people living in the inner city that people on the left purport to care about. And then the other big issue I want to bring to the table is the absolute crisis of urban education. Just to choose one city, Baltimore, there are 13 public high schools in Baltimore, Brittany, I kid you not, where 0% of the kids can do math at grade level. Another half a dozen, only 1% can. That's half of all the public high schools in Baltimore, all located in the inner city. Chicago, 53 government schools, 0% of the kids can do math at grade level. Why is this acceptable? Why is it acceptable we have an epidemic of fatherlessness? Why is it acceptable that we are in a nation where racism has never been a less significant factor, talking about it all the time because Democrats want to get black people angry about social justice and equity, however you define that, and not talking about crime or bad schools? And why is it okay for 85% of black eighth graders, according to the National Report Card, these are kids who are 13 years old, can neither read nor do math at grade level. Half can't even do basic reading, which means a substantial percentage of black 13-year-olds in America are functionally illiterate. Why in the world is this acceptable? It is not. And I want to put these issues front and center.